I wasn't recording. This is like the third time today it's happened. I had never said what I said before, and I was trying to record it, and it wasn't happening. Woe is I. A high school teacher corrected Shakespeare, and she wrote a book, Woe is I, because Shakespeare was wrong when he said, woe is me. No, that's not right. It's woe is I, according to this high school teacher who wrote the book on proper use of the English language. Woe is I. Woe is I. So anyway, I've got to recreate what I just said. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? Maybe I need to rewind a little bit. Oh, this talking backwards really confuses the living daylight out of me. And I really wouldn't want to step on these women, so. But I was talking about something, and I'm completely at wit's end because I wasn't recording. Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I've learned that. It's about time I get that through my head. It doesn't make any difference. Because if it was important, well, it'll come back. So, like that poster, it sounds a little corny, if you love something, let it go. And if it loves you, it will come back. Well, corny as it might sound, I actually believe it's true. It'll come back. So chalk it up to another non-recording when I meant to be recording. Oh well, it'll come back if it loves me. That's what Hamlet said when he got the sword from, what's his name, her brother, Laertes. Yes, this sword likes me. He didn't say, I like the sword likes me. Interesting way of putting it. The sword likes me. Therefore, I will take it because the sword likes. So I will check if I'm recording this time, because that entire thing about Bartleby the Scrivener. And I actually say I think I was, well, when you're out on a beautiful day like today, nowhere near as hot as it's been, and there are trees, and there are grass, there are sentient beings with eyes and ears and hearts, and, well, it tends to inspire. And that entire thing that I was doing over there about Bartleby the Scrivener, his clinical depression, is saying, I prefer not. How sad. I have to get it back, excuse me. But it's gone. For the moment, anyway. It's all right. If it loves me, it'll come back. Just like Hamlet with his, I like this sword. No, I don't like this sword. The sword likes me. Hamlet had a lot of problems in his life. Couldn't make up his mind, but he was actually a pretty smart guy. He was just a little young when his uncle killed his father and then married his mother. It was a little confusing to a 19-year-old. He really didn't know how to handle it. It's too bad it didn't happen a few years later. He could have just done what Scott would have done. Dad, let me just go into his room and just kill him. You're always coming up with these incredibly complicated and super easy things to escape from. Just let me go into his room and Scott, zip it, zip. But Dad, zip, zippity-doo-dah. But Dad. Somebody throw me a bone here. I was asking for man-eating sharks, and you give me man-eating sea bass. Well, Dr. Evil, I'm sorry. The International Convention on the Protection of Prehistoric Sea Life has made it impossible to get man-eating sea sharks. They're endangered, So we had to do sea bass. But don't worry, Dr. Evil. It's fine. They're very effective. But they didn't know that Austin Powers had dental floss in his pocket. And that dental floss, he was able to loop over the little hook way up on the other side. And as the floor was receding into in the room that had 4 walls around it, the floor was going do. And there, in the water, man-eating sea bass. It's a good thing he had the dental floss, because he could, loop it over there, and he and his sexy girlfriend could go over, and then the sexy girlfriend could go, oh no, wait, that was after the sexy, yes, it was, I'm getting mixed up, it doesn't matter, but she goes to the guard, and she opens her shirt like this, and the dumb guard goes, ah, and then he goes right into the water. See, he falls in, so just his head goes in, and there's all this blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, there's no head left on the guy, and the entire Dr. Evil Empire is on their guard for these guys. They don't want them to escape, and meanwhile, Austin Powers has to stand there making jokes. Oh, he really lost his head there, didn't he? I think he got a little ahead of the game. One shouldn't let things like that go to one's head. Ha ha! But the funniest scene of that was when he got onto the forklift thing. And he went down the hall escaping at this speed, But then he realized he had to turn around, and then he got into this thing, and the wall was here, and had to back up, and the wall was here, and had to go forward, and the wall was here, and Austin, let's just get the hell out of here. We don't have to take the forklift to leave. We could use our legs, which worked. Oh boy. Well, that was good. Was I recording this time? I think I was recording this time. I will kill myself if I wasn't, but I know that there's a reason. 8, yes. Man-eating sea bass will be the title of this one. Man-eating sea bass. Oh, do it sits now. C, T, T, S, S, C, T, T, S, S, which means check the time. Okay, here it is, 8:50 something. Then stop, start. So I got to do this, 8:50.